Hey everyone, another quick video. Actually, I don't know if it'll be quick, but going to go over the market and a few coins, about 10 coins, and primarily I'm only focused on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Sol, but we're going to be taking a look at Litecoin, Link, Dogecoin, BNB, Injective, ARB, OP, and LDO. But before I start, I just want to apologize for the lack of updates. It's a busy month and going through some personal things, so I'm going to be posting this video and hope you guys watch. I'll post setups as I see them come through, but this month and next, I'm still going through some things that I got to do. But in the meanwhile, I made this video to go over potential setups as they come. I will be going over the setups, but also referring to them. So please do watch this video as I think it'll be helpful as where I think the market will go. As always, we will start with Bitcoin, and we're going to take a look at three different charts. First is this giant rising wedge, but as I mentioned last video, that a fractal is kind of playing out, and this is very important to take a look at. We had resistance here at 29,860-ish. Okay, we deviated above, closed below, bearish retest, and then just dumped from there. Okay, same thing here, right? We broke out, deviated above, flipped it to support for just a little bit, as we did here, broke down, and today we had that bearish retest. Okay, so today's daily candle is very important. If we do have a close such as this is a gravestone doji, a reversal candle that will head us back down. But I will show in a different chart that this level was a must hold for Bitcoin. It was previous range highs, right? We broke down below, rejected, and closed down. We actually bounced from it, so we actually flipped this resistance area, supply zone, into support for now. But today's daily close is going to be very important. To see us go to the upside, we want to see 29,800 flip to support just like we did here and then continued higher, right? Until that happens, I'm not really looking for longs until a trigger gives on a low time frame. And by that, I mean this. So if we take a look at Bitcoin, and this was the setup that I gave a few days ago. I was waiting for a retest of this point here, and we missed it by just 80 bucks. Unfortunate, but again, this is what I was referring to. Previous range highs flipped to support. On top of that, we had a swing failure, right? So on a lower time frame, right? We had a swing failure, took out the lows, grabbed the liquidity, reclaimed swing lows, and then we just went higher. The 4-hour candle looks disgusting. I expect some pullback, and the level that I want to hold, I'm actually going to reactivate these bids and just hold them for if we do come back down. But the levels that I want us to hold are actually going to be this 29,500. Okay, previous swing low, right? Support. We bounced from support, came back down, turned it into resistance, right? Rejection, 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 and this is our breakthrough. So I want to see us hold 29,500. This is going to be very important because if we are able to hold this level, we will go higher. And the first areas of rejection, which I gave into the Discord, are going to be the scalp short at 3,400-ish. Okay, previous swing highs. I expect an up over and under. That's the trigger to short. Nothing below. You're not setting limits for this one, so you're looking for a clean liquidity sweep up here, close back below, and then just come back down, and you're going to play this range over here. Okay. On top of that, I'm looking to swing short here. I will start my swing short at 30,800-ish, and I will DCA in this zone here, 31,000 and 31,300. And this is going to be a manual stop loss. What I mean by that is I'm not looking to, and I'm minimizing my risk. Okay, so I know what my liquidation price is, and it's nowhere close to this. But as long as 31K gets flipped, or as long as it doesn't get flipped to support, I'm keeping this stop loss manual, and I will close it out if we flip 31 100ish to support. So this level here, we haven't had any daily close or 4-hour closes above that's actually flipped to support except for here. But I'm looking to manually close it if we flip this to support, meaning I want to see 2 or 3 4-hour closes above here. But my hard stop loss is going to be about 32,200, which isn't pictured here. We can go above, and come back down, but this is, again, it's going to be manual, so like my risk is maintained here. Only risking 2.5% of my portfolio on this, and honestly, from this level, I'm looking for a drop back down to the 26K level. Why that? This is why. So we were at the top of this range. Okay, I'm looking for a push up here. Could even go up to the top of this trend line again and reject, but I'm looking for a hold of this trend line here. So as long as we are stalling here, maybe a push up, fill the swing shorts, and then just come back down. And then from that point on, it should be like a nice 12% dump. Not saying it's going to happen, but that's my swing trade for Bitcoin shorts. Otherwise, for me to get in on a low time frame, I am looking for this 29,500 to hold. Okay, better on a daily, right? Because we've had closes below rejection, so I'm looking for close and retest, hold up here, and the setup would probably look something like this. If you're more risk adverse, you can put it down here, but lower time frame, you want to go on a lower time frame to place your stop loss. So if you do place it, you're looking for something like, why won't you show? Something like this probably. Okay, so if we hold above 29,500, you'd mark it long on the perfect retest. Stops around 29,000. It's about a 1.5% risk. During this chop, I recommend going with reduced risk, meaning lower position sizing than normal. I'm doing half or 2/3 of my normal position size for the rest of the summer because of low liquidity, but that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin. More detail on the Bitcoin trades are giving in the Discord. So that's it for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at ETH really quickly. Now, as mentioned on my Twitter and the confirmation plays in the Discord, I was looking for a sweep of these lows. This was previous swing low, right? We had the sweep here. I was asleep for it, had the swing, couldn't get in, and I should have placed my bids at previous swing low. And I mentioned this at when you have a swing failure, this is your swing low, right? When you have the sweep of liquidity, it establishes support once we close above. So if you place a bid at previous swing low levels, they usually have like an 80% success rate to fill and bounce from it, which we did at this 4-hour candle here once we got the sweep. So once that happened, and that was one of the triggers that I mentioned on Twitter and on the Discords. I just didn't take it. I couldn't manage it at that time, but we got a nice 3% move. So what I am looking for ETH is for 1848, so this level here in black, to hold on lower time frames, so 4-hour or lower, and then we can, which would also be a retest of this trend line. Otherwise, we are looking for, I'm hoping for, if we do get that push down, 1775 to fill, which is this demand zone here. I'm still leaving my bids at that area, swing trading it hopefully higher. But if we take a look at ETH on the daily, right, this 1800 level support, I expect to get touched again. Okay, so this chart actually looks disgusting, but I expect 1800 to get tapped, and as the day goes by, right? That 1800 level and lower, which I'm hoping we get the 1775, is going to be the retest of this trend line here. Okay, so that's why I would look to bid 1800-ish, right? We've held it ever since. This would be actual an SR retest point, right? We had the support here, broke down, reclaimed it, never had a retest of this point. So 1800 down to 1775 is a buy area for sure. And then I think we can get, if all goes well, at least 1920 to 1980-ish, which I have given short setups for. And that is looking to scalp here. I'm going to move it over a little bit because it hasn't happened. So I'm looking to scalp 1924-ish with probably DCA around 19. I gave this in Discord. I don't remember it at the moment, but around like 1935 with my stops around 1950. I'm looking for those levels to hit. Otherwise, my swing trade short would be here. Now, if we inverse the scale, we're looking at a triple tap right there, sweep, and then if we come back down, it'll be a triple bottom kind of formation, but this is inverted, so it's more likely a triple top. I look to short there with, I gave DCAs in the Discord, stops above this wick, and then just riding it back down. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for ETH. I'm not going to be a low time frame scalper. That's not how I trade, but those are the setups that I'm looking for, and it might take days or weeks, but I'm waiting for stuff to come to my level. I'm not rushing into anything. Next trade we're going to take a look at is going to be SOL. All right, let's take a look at this from a fresh perspective. All right. Okay, so 2270 down to 2250 is support, right? Why do I say it's support? Let's take a look at this on the daily. So we went up, flipped it to support here, right? Came back down, unable to hold here, rejected, again unable to hold, rejected, rejected, came up, held it as support. That was the support retest and flip, and we just had a support bounce from it recently. So it has proven that 2273 with possible wicks below are going to hold. And for how much longer? That's the question. We have a possible breakout coming on SOL. Again, rejected from it. So for me to get long on SOL, okay, for me to get long on SOL, I need a breakout and retest, and I will jump in there with my stops somewhere here. I don't know where yet. Or we have a clear double bottom. Whoops. Clear double bottom, right? So if you take a long here, your stops are going to be below here. However, again, I'm still waiting. The other place where you can get into a safe long, now these are for the patient traders, are going to be a flip of this resistance. Why? Once we broke down here, we rejected all this and then came back down, so it's clear to be proven strong at 2540-ish. So a break above, hold, retest, that's where you take a look to get long. Otherwise, again, you can bid support until we hold, and retest is this breakout. Retest is where I will be getting in on. Right. Otherwise, if we lose that, then the areas where I want to get long on SOL, this is not a clean trend line. We don't have 2 touches of this or 3 touches of this trend line, but An area where we could get long is going to be here. This demand zone. So setup for SOL would look something like this. And target news highs. So we haven't, in my opinion, broken market structure yet, meaning we haven't made a lower high. But if we do break and close the daily below this, right, I will reevaluate. But if we make a lower high, then I will be looking to flip short. No shorting strength yet. Area where we could possibly short is going to be, again, resistance. But I'm not looking for short setups. I'm looking to long pullbacks instead. So I'm not even going to give a short setup right now. With 21.85 down to about 21 is going to be where you want to get into SOL. Okay, and your stop loss is around 20.42. So that's what I'm looking for SOL. Again, I'm not a scalper, so I'm not going to give low time frame trades. Let's take a look at Litecoin. I know we have the halving tomorrow. So I expect Litecoin to dump, and the reason for that is it's an overcrowded trade, right? Everyone's expecting this to pump because of the halving. I don't, and historically, if we take a look at data from previous halvings, it's topped and dumped after it. And I expect the same thing. I don't understand why people are expecting this to pump huge. Clear resistance here is at $96. Previous support that we held, lost it. Again, unable to hold, rejected. Deviation again, held, rejected, rejected here. And same with here, unable to hold it and then dumped. Okay. So if we talk about trend lines, right? Lose this trend line, it's over. It's over. Okay. We had on a lower time frame. We had a swing failure of these lows. Right? Grab the liquidity. There was liquidity here. Didn't fully sweep these ones, but we grabbed that and then reclaimed the trend line. Right? So we may be possibly putting in an inverse head and shoulders on a lower time frame, which would set a technical target of about $105. And again, on a higher time frame, we could see another head and shoulders. But if we ever get to 105, it's a definite short for me. Rejection, rejection, clear resistance, previous deviation point. I'm not looking to long unless this area gets flipped to support. However, if we get to $96 to $98 region, this is where I get the $98 region, I'd be looking to possibly short it and fade the move all the way down. I think this is again an overcrowded trade. People are hoping for this to pump, and I think this is a buy going into the rumor many days ago. Right here. I don't think this is a buy now. Although we had a strong daily candle, I still don't think this is a buy. Now these are again potential setups. I'm not taking all of these. I gave the ones that I'm taking in the discords. So again, I won't be updating this. And if you guys do take this and make money off it, great for you. Next, we'll take a look at Link. So, as mentioned in a few different coins, right? Link had resistance here. It had resistance at 731, right? We went up, held it, again lost it, rejected, lost it, went up, again lost it, so on and so forth. Deviated, came back down, lost it, put in a deviation on a weekly time frame, and I was hoping for a move into this 4 hour or this daily order block, right? A wick down here, but we've already established support. So here's a breakout candle. There's your retest, okay, and there's the long trigger. I've mentioned how to play these confirmation plays in my channel. They're pinned, and I'm still waiting for this bid. Now, this daily candle did have a swing failure, right? We took out these lows and went higher. Again, this daily current candle looks disgusting, but on the 4 hour, again, bidding support is again going to be a strong thing as we move on. 730 is going to be strong support, possible trendline confluence. And currently putting in a bull flag, right? Top, rejection, rejection, rejection. I wouldn't be looking too long unless this supply zone and trend line gets flipped to support. So to be honest, I wouldn't be looking to long until like this $7.70 to 7.80 region gets flipped to support. And then I target 8.15 again, range highs. Otherwise, you're going to bid 730 down to, or sorry, 735 down to about 720, which is the trend line here, for a move up, right? So one of these sides you're going to give. Now, as we get closer and closer to the apex of the triangle, the move is going to happen violently, right? So that's what happens in a range. You just long support and short resistance. Simple. Don't overcomplicate things. And again, on a higher time frame, I'm looking for 6.92, this daily order block. Next coin, DOGE. Let's take a look at doggy sex. All right. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, so Dogecoin currently in the bull flag, tested this order block perfectly. Liquidity remains there. So, honestly, bidding this box here from anywhere from 75 down to 73 has been working so far. Other place to bid, if that gets broken, in my opinion, is going to be this order block here. So from 71.88 down to 70. Everyone's waiting for Elon to say something, right? So if this breaks out, target is about 90 cents. You're looking for either this move here to get long. Stops will be below 73 cents. Okay. Otherwise, you're looking for a breakout retest to get long. Black is your trigger, right? Retest successfully, close above, market long with your stop loss somewhere below here. I can't give you a definite answer of where yet, hasn't formed, but that's the plan for Dogecoin. Now, If this breaks out, 90 cents should be about 20% move almost. You're going to take profit at resistance levels, but those are your trigger plays. Otherwise, lose that. This would be a scalp, so the setup will look something like this. If we're bidding this box here, right? Otherwise, you bid the breakout point, hasn't happened yet. Stop loss somewhere here. Breakouts have a tighter stop loss. Otherwise, you're bidding this here. Three separate plays. Shorts probably $0.90 to 94 cents. Sorry, 9 cents to 9.4 cents here. Proven to be strong resistance, and that's where you'd be looking to short. Next coin, BNB. All right. So BNB on a daily clear bear flag, but also possible like descending triangle in a way, right? So in my opinion, the trend line is the trend is your friend until broken, right? So is this trend going to hold on the next touch? There's an order block there. So if this is going to hold, it will look something like this with your stops below the wick. And we'll target again the highs. Short the highs. This one's a bit riskier. There's two setups actually. I don't know which one to take yet. But take liquidity from here. Alright, so we go up, close below. That's your trigger to short. But we've had rejections from range highs, and same with here. These wicks went above, but it's where the candles close, right? So again, rejection. So again, the other setup, it could be, at 256 with your stop above here. Because if you get stopped out on this trade, right, it goes into your second trade, the confirmation trade. So that's what I'm looking for BNB. Now, as I mentioned, if we take a look at this on the weekly, actually let me go to a different trade. Alright, so we had a weekly retest and rejection from this level. Again, this looks like a bear flag to me. Actually, this was also a bear flag on a higher time frame. Right? So target for this bear flag, which we've already broke down and rejected from, is $71, which I do think will come eventually. But target for this bear flag is $140. Okay, so when we go back on the daily here, break down this trend line. We're not going to short mid-range anything. Again, swing failure, short. Range highs, short. None of those come. breakdown here, break trend, right? You can enter a little bit on it, but not too much, because look what happened here. People that try to short this breakdown here, yes, they got a like what $5 move down, wasn't much. That way you can close the trade for a quick loss if we reclaim the trend line. But you're looking for a breakdown, retest, close below, short trigger, stop somewhere above here. I can't give you a placement yet because it hasn't happened yet, and no data points are given yet. Okay, so there's like 4 different plays here, and 4 potential setups that you could take on this. Injective. All right. So for my students that know how I trade, right? Here's a demand zone that filled perfectly and gave you a 7% move up. Okay. This is how I play my zones. Demand zone has held. Let's draw some trend lines. Okay. So next demand zone doesn't come to here or until here, which is going to be a trend line bounce, but as the day goes by, right, we could get higher and higher. This is support. Reclaimed it, support, support. Again, we had wicks below, but we closed above. Now, very important support level for injective. And I mentioned if we lose this and turn it into resistance, this is going to be the short area. It's a possible head and shoulders with technical targets of $5.70. Okay, so no shorting this until this level is lost and rejected on the daily, which, like, this is the example, right? Rejected and then dumped, right? We closed below, rejected, and then dumped. Okay, deviation, closed below, right? Rejected, and then dumped. So nothing until we see that again in terms of shorts. Now longs, you could take a long scalp here. Long swing trade, kind of, but if you're taking this on a scalp, the risk to reward is not nice, at least on a higher time frame. Because if I do think we come back down here, I think we reject from $7.80. So scratch that. I don't like the R risk to reward. In terms of shorts now on the daily though, I think we can get a rejection around $7.31. Let's go on a lower time frame. Right, rejected, came back down. There's one. I expect more because we actually went above and flipped it. So if we get here, this is where I would like to short, and I mentioned this in the previous video. 760 with my stops around 792 and target much lower. That's the swing trade. You can take a scalp short here. Stops would probably be 844-ish, right? Again, you're going to take profits within here, but I'm just drawing down to where the max TP would be. But you take profits, you know, at 810, you know, below that as well, a 792, 80. So this is just a deeper pull down. But again, you're going to take profits at SR areas or levels of support if you're shorting, and that would be the swing trade. Now, in terms of longs on a lower time frame, I'm not really looking to get into this. This is a actual reversal candle. We took out these highs here and then dumped. So I think we can go back to about $7.80, and that could be a possible long trigger on a lower time frame. Let's go there. So maybe one, 3, 5, 7, 10. Yeah, about 7, 80-ish. But we could also count this, maybe 786 bounce. So this here. Stops probably around 775. And we'll target 831. That's a low time frame scalp. So 790 DCA down to about 783-ish with your stops around 776, and then you're looking for a move up. Now again, scalps on a 15-minute, you're looking for 1% moves, or like this should be a TP. I know it's not much, but it should be a TP. People that are trying to swing trade scalps on lower time frames will lose everything. Okay, so that's for injective. Let's take a look at ARB. Again, my traders knew, my students, right? Demand zone, tapped perfectly into it, filled the 50%, and it was up nicely, 3%. Now, trend lines. Bearish retest of the trend line, also resistance rejected. I wouldn't look too long anything unless this is actually flipped to support. This, right? We actually haven't flipped it. Lower time frame. Let's see. Lower time frame, I wouldn't, well, 4-hour time frame, I wouldn't look to long unless this gets flipped to support. You'll take TP there, right? Technical targets of this falling wedge are going to be into the short area, around 7 or 131. Demand zone held perfectly. You could try to long the bottom of this, however, I wouldn't. What I would like to get long is going to be here. $106 down to, where's my 103 or 102. The reason for that is we had the breakout, right, flip to support. Support's been holding, but also over here, this was a deviation, okay, and we never had a retest of that breakout point, meaning once we broke down, we rejected, right, and then broke above, never had a retest to actually solidify that this is support. All right, this is an SR region. Just like the sold play I gave a couple of days ago in the Discord, you guys can see that I was bidding the retest of the deviation point slash breakout zone. I'm looking to bid the same exact play on ARB. So I'm not looking for longs until $1.07 down to $1.02. Now this will be more of a spot play. Otherwise, I'm looking to short, if we reclaim here, this supply zone, $1.31 to $1.35, with my stops at $1.37. Longs on this, I mentioned on the 4-hour, breakout above, retest. Now if we take a look here, just like we had down over here, we're possibly having a deviation here, right? This, I'm going to make this black really quickly so it's noticeable. Support, 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 broke down, held it, right, broke down, and then reclaimed it. So this is a very important level to hold. If we are able to hold this 4-hour candle above, we could possibly long with our stops around $1.13 and then move up. Otherwise, the safer long, and this is the one that I would take, is breakout above this trend line. Retest point would be that $1.15 area, long to about $1.19. Possible short area also could be here, $1.23. OP. So OP also has a rising wedge, right? Trend line top. We cleared here, then fell down. I wouldn't look to short this. If OP is able to flip $1.64 on the daily, I expect a swift move to about $2. Okay, this was previous support, so this is going to be the range from that. Otherwise, lose this, turn it into resistance, then it's going back down to the trend line. Okay, so trend line, either break above, hold this and flip it into support, will long to $2, lose this, then look to short. Now lower time frame, I don't even know what this and there was a 4-hour order block there that filled perfectly and bounced, but this is too choppy to trade on a lower time frame. So we're waiting for the triggers on a higher time frame, such as the daily, and we're moving up from there. Otherwise, you can bid $1.52. It's holding the trend line on a lower time frame, so $1.52, maybe a little bit higher at that point. Stops below probably $1.47, and we'll target the top of the range again. Last but not least, LDO. I saw Saka talking about this. Okay, it's in a giant wedge. Support, again, holding. So if we ever get to $1.63, that's where you want to look to long. Currently at resistance. Right, rejection, flip to support, rejected, flip to support, rejected, rejected, rejected. It did actually have a swing failure on the daily. Right. So again, as I mentioned, placing bids at previous swing low levels. I don't know if we'll get it, but should provide a nice bounce. Long the flip of this resistance. How to play those confirmations, again, are posted in the Discord and my channel, pinned messages. Now on a lower time frame, I'm not drawing a trend line on that, It's too high. Yeah, again, lower time frame, same thing. Might get $1.84. Same stop. Lower position size on this because the stop is a little wide, and we'll target up there. I just don't like, to be honest, LDO or OP. It's just trending. These coins usually move together. They're layer twos, so that's why I'm keeping my eye on this. And that's pretty much it on all the coins that I'm looking at and potential setups. Hope you guys learned how I trade. I know this video is a little longer, but this is what I look for in confirmation plays, demand zones, support resistance. Keep it simple. Don't over complicate things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys on the next one.